My name is Giovanni. I'm 37 years old. I am Italian, but I currently live in London, where I work as a project manager for an orchestra. I've been diagnosed with asthma in 2009 when I was 22 years of age. I used to play the flute. I started when I was very little, when I was 10, because they said it would have helped my lungs develop and stretch. But unfortunately, in 2019, I had to stop, I had to quit playing the flute because of the asthma diagnosis. The main daily challenges that I have to face because of asthma is the first and probably the most important is shortness of breath. And sometimes I find it difficult to complete daily tasks during the day, such as cycling to work. I find it very tiring, or even finish the day or climbing the stairs. What is really important in those days is to take a step back and try to take it easy and relax and listen to yourself and how you feel. How did I manage to overcome the challenges? For example, I had to, first of all, take responsibility for my well-being and for my health. So the most important thing that I've done was to being proactive and starting to do something for myself. For example, going swimming in the morning and trying to have a healthy lifestyle. And of course, with the illness and the condition, there are limitations and restrictions. So when I have a difficult day, when I have a shortness of breath, what I do usually is I try to understand myself, how I feel, and I simply take it easy. Take it easy, relax, lie on the sofa, or even sleep. And after even just half an hour sleep, I feel much better. That was a specific time when I overcame a limit that asthma imposed to me, and that it was after I was diagnosed with asthma. I was still studying at the conservatoire, and I was in the middle of my Master of Flute Performance. So I had to finish the year playing the flute and keep practicing despite the condition. But also the passion for music was so strong that I have decided to make music part of my life and continue to work with music despite I couldn't work and play in an orchestra as a performer. My emotional reaction to the diagnosis was a complete shock. It turned my life upside down completely because, as I said before, I was starting to become a professional flute player, and they told me, "I'm sorry, you can't play anymore." So I had to finish my master, and then I stopped. So it was extremely painful. It was extremely difficult, but I didn't give up. I didn't give up because I'm still working for an orchestra, despite I'm not working on stage, I'm working backstage, helping the player to achieve the best concert. The first advice I would give to someone that is being diagnosed with asthma would be, don't feel lonely because you're not alone. There is a lot of support that you can get from your GP, from your doctor, from the practitioners. And I think it's really important not to just focus on the illness. There are situations that impose me to stop doing what I loved because of asthma, and it was playing the flute. Nonetheless, I found a solution. I tried to be proactive, and I am still working with music in the music business, and I'm still surrounded by music, which is my passion. The things that help me most to deal with my condition are hobbies and, most importantly, sports. I would recommend to a doctor that is telling a patient that is living with a lifelong condition, in this case asthma, that they should make feel the patient is not alone. because you can easily feel alone with your problems and don't know how to deal with it. So I think, or I recommend, or I suggest the doctor to give practical helps to the patient. For example, suggesting them to join a support group in your area, in your city, and really give practical helps to the patient to manage the condition. I think there is a link between, long-term illnesses and mental health. It is equally as important to cure asthma as well as mental health, because sometimes you can feel a bit down, a bit low, a bit depressed because of the asthma, and then this has a huge impact on mental health. I think you have to find a way to overcome the illness. The asthma diagnosis doesn't define you. The illness does not define you. What defines you is who you are, what you like to do for living, your passion, and you have to focus on what you're good at to overcome your limits, or simply just to understand your limits and living with them and accepting them.